but not in individuals that we were able to identify on a day like today. There's many different humpbacks, so obviously we can't know every one of them, but someone like myself that's used to doing it normally can tell you and identify at least some of the individual humpback whales and tell you a little more about them as individual whales. Coming out and seeing an animal that weighs 50 tons being so close to you that you could almost touch it gets to a point where it's almost a spiritual encounter. You're getting so close to an animal that's so very much like ourselves in a lot of ways and also so very much different.
For those who never leave home without their clubs, there are 3 golf courses in the area: Cape Arundel Golf Course, Webhannock Golf Club, and the Dutch Elm Golf Course. The Kennebunks are also a good place to jog or ride a bike, but use caution along the narrow, winding roads.
At the same time the area was growing wealthy from its involvement in shipping and shipbuilding, the large homes of captains and craftsmen rose along the banks of the Kennebunk River. Many of the affluent taste and culture of that era have been maintained in Kennebunk and Kennebunkport to this day. One example is the Knot House, also known as White Columns. This Greek Revival house is located in the heart of the Kennebunkport Historic District on the corner of Route 9 and South Main Street. White Columns was built in the 1850s as one of only a handful in Maine to retain original wallpapers, carpets, and furnishings. In 1981, Miss Elizabeth Knott gave the house to the Kennebunkport Historical Society in memory of her brother Richard Allen Knott. One of Kennebunk's most famous and most photographed residences is the Wedding Cake House on Summer Street, which is also Route 35. Inspired by Milan's Gothic cathedrals, shipbuilder George Washington Bourne started carving the wooden house decorations in 1852 using only hand tools. He completed the work shortly before his death. The name Wedding Cake House comes from the legend that the house was built by an early sea captain in an attempt to console his bride for not providing a traditional wedding cake at their wedding. To see additional homes of a bygone era, take the walking tour of Kennebunk's National Register Historic District offered by the Brick Store Museum on Main Street in Kennebunk. The tour begins at the museum and includes many outstanding examples of 19th century architectural styles. The tour concludes at the Taylor Berry House, built in 1803 by William Berry. A Federal period residence, it offers a look at the lifestyle of a Maine seafaring and shipbuilding family. The Brick Store Museum is one of the centers for many of Kennebunk's historical activities. It houses permanent collections, historical archives, and an extensive reference library. The Brick Store Museum was built by William Lord as a dry goods store in 1825. It was the first brick building in Kennebunk. Throughout the years, it has been occupied by a tailor, lawyers, the Mousom Water Company, and the Good Templars and Rotary Club were at one time upstairs. The museum was founded in 1936. Each summer, you can view wonderful exhibits which add to the history of the Kennebunks. These include paintings, sculptures, and artifacts assembled from the museum's vast collections. For more information, contact the Brick Store Museum.
Getting around on foot in the Kennebunks is quite easy. We recommend that you leave your car at your inn or park at one of the town's surrounding parking areas. Parking is available at the Consolidated School on Route 9, about a half-mile east of the square in Kennebunkport, and at St. Martha's Church on North Street, just a few blocks from Dock Square. Some free parking is also available at many of the businesses in Lower Village. There is a town parking lot behind Allison's Restaurant in Dock Square, and on Main Street, Kennebunk, you can park in front of most downtown merchants. One of the best ways to see the area is on the in-town trolley. The trolley has stops including Kennebunk Beach, Dock Square, and many of the accommodations in the area. Enjoy this unique form of transportation through the village streets and along the rocky coast while listening to the informative tour guide. Shopping opportunities in the Kennebunks are almost unlimited during the tourist and holiday seasons. presenting a kaleidoscopic array of goods and keepsakes. Dock Square, in the heart of Kennebunkport, is probably the best known of the shopping areas. Lower Village, across the bridge from Dock Square, also has a variety of unique gift shops, restaurants, and bakeries, all within a short walk. Just up Route 35 on Main Street in Kennebunk, you'll find a vibrant business community with a wide range of shopping opportunities. The Kennebunks abound with exceptional and unique eateries, from takeout lobster, clams, and seafood to the most extraordinary gourmet feast. Whatever cuisine or atmosphere you desire, you're sure to take pleasure in the variety offered to you in the Kennebunks.
No visit to this area would be complete without a stop at the Seashore Trolley Museum on Log Cabin Road. The museum boasts one of the most complete collections of old mass transit vehicles anywhere. Enjoy a 3.5-mile ride on one of their authentic restored electric trolley cars. Pay a visit to the gift shop or take a close-hand look at restorations in progress, like the Boston Elevated Railway Station, which was brought here from Boston by seagoing barge. The Kennebunks host a multitude of historical and modern churches of all denominations. They welcome travelers and tourists to a variety of services, which can be found listed in most newspapers and tourist publications. As you travel out Ocean Avenue past the mouth of the Kennebunk River, you'll see St. Anne's Church, a wonderful old stone building built over a century ago. The President and Mrs. Bush often attend services at St. Anne's during their local stays. One of the most spectacular shrines is the St. Anthony Monastery, also referred to as the Franciscan Monastery. St. Anthony's Monastery is situated across the Kennebunk River from Kennebunkport. Just follow Route 35 towards Kennebunk Beach. The area was first discovered by the French explorer Samuel de Champlain in 1604. After various entrepreneurial owners, the estate was purchased by Lithuanian Franciscans in 1947. In 1952, the Tudor-style house was embellished with the Shrine of St. Anthony. Magnificent and unique shrines and monuments are set in the beautiful surrounding gardens. There is also a wooded path leading to the boathouse, an exciting outlook to the Atlantic Ocean. Modern lodgings and accommodations are available for those seeking a weekend retreat or pilgrimage.
Many cultural activities are hosted in the Kennebunks. You'll find art shows each summer and numerous galleries with works in all media and styles. The major shows include the Kennebunk River Club Art Show and the River Tree Arts Outdoor Art Festival, which takes place on the first Saturday in August. River Tree Arts is one of the primary cultural organizations of the Kennebunks. In addition to graphic arts and writing, the programs of this group include children's programs and innumerable concerts throughout the year.
Now you're married, you must obey, you must be true to all you say, you must be wise, you must be good, and help your wife to chop the wood.
Besides fine art, another subject of intrigue to visitors is antiques. With the Kennebunks' early and affluent heritage, the area is rich with original and period antiques. Some of these can be found at numerous auctions held during the summer months or at a number of shops in the area.
The natural beauty of southern coastal Maine has been preserved for all to enjoy at the Wells National Estuarine Reserve. Within the reserve, you'll find Laudholm Farm, the Rachel Carson Wildlife Refuge Lands, and the Laudholm State Park. This 4-mile coastal sanctuary is a natural ecosystem, home for a wide variety of resident and transient wildlife. A guided nature tour through the reserve can make for a pleasant afternoon. Along the rocky coast, two of Kennebunkport's natural wonders still delight and sometimes drench the summer visitor. Traveling out Ocean Avenue, you'll find Spouting Rock, a natural cleft in the rocks. With an incoming tide and the wind just right, it's easy to see how this place got its name. A little further down the road on the west side of a sand-bottomed cove is Blowing Cave. Here, a natural cave has been hollowed out of solid granite by the forces of erosion and time. As the tide comes in, the ocean waves crash into the cave and make a roar that the Indians said was the voice of the Great Spirit. And just across the cove, you'll see what may now be one of our most famous landmarks, the summer residence of President and Mrs. George Bush. Presently known as Walker's Point, the peninsula was originally called Flying Point due to the abundance of seabirds, or Point Vesuvius, because of the spouting and crashing waves on its rocky shoreline.